How do you follow the pubic tuck? All right, let's bring it down a little bit. The house I grew up in was highly valued self-reliance and self-sufficiency. My parents were both children of the Great Depression, and they grew up learning how to do without. So my mother took a page from Gone with the Wind and went to her senior dance in a dress she had made herself from somebody else's curtains. My dad grew up in the coal region of Pennsylvania, and when things were really bad, he would go coal picking out in a culvert that ran down the mountain. And he'd look for coal that the company had cast off and bring it home to heat the house. And the culvert was also the sewer line for the town, so it was a tough gig. He once borrowed somebody's Model T to drive to a job, and it broke down in a thunderstorm, so he got it over to the side of the road, and no cell phones, and no phones for miles. So he rebuilt the engine right there by the side of the road. Self-reliance, self-sufficiency. And I'm not running for office. I'm not here to tell you my, humble roots story. I just want you to kind of see where I'm coming from. We didn't like borrowing from anybody. We didn't seek help from anybody. My dad came home from World War II and didn't even use the GI Bill. When I got out of school, I started my own business. Ran a business for 30 years. And then in 2008, I got diagnosed with a particularly nasty form of leukemia. Fortunately, I live in Philadelphia, which is the world champion for kicking leukemia's ass. So I was a very fortunate individual. And during that whole time in my life, I learned a lot about relying on people. When I was diagnosed, they told me that I was going to be in the hospital for 30 days, and they were going to give me chemotherapy. And I found out that a lot of people don't understand what chemotherapy is, and what it is really is a giant game of chicken, where they give you massive doses of poison in hopes that it kills the cancer before it kills you. One of the drugs they gave me was so poisonous that if you got a drop on your finger, it would eat the flesh away. They have to put it directly into your heart so that it spreads out on your body quickly. The other drug they gave me every day for 10 weeks was arsenic. Now, I know two things about arsenic. It's on the periodic table of elements. It's also, I remember my grandfather had a box of it in his garage, and it had a picture of the skull and crossbones and a picture of a dead rat. So while I was in the hospital, I got to thinking, because you have lots of time to think in the hospital. You can't turn it off. Who was the first person to say yes to this? Who was the first person who was so desperate that they came up to him and said, listen, we're all out of ideas. We want to give you rat poison. And who was the poor son of a bitch who went, what the fuck, why not? Who was the second person? Who was the fifth? Who was the 50th? The 100th? The 200th? Because to get my weight, size, gender, body type, to get the right dose for me, they had to test all that out on a lot of people. Not just the drugs they gave me, but the drugs they give us for everything. Who are these people? Who took the bullet for me? Who do I owe my life to? I'm not raised to owe anybody anything. We should have a mountain top carved in their image. There should be a wall somewhere with the names of all these people who took one for the team. There should be a national holiday. March doesn't have a national holiday. The 14th should be a national holiday where we celebrate the hundreds or thousands of people who are the thin red line between you and cancer. Because I hate to be Davy Downer here, but look to your left, look to your right. One of you is going to get it. And look around the room, because every single one of you is going to know somebody who's going to die from it. And without these people, these nameless, faceless, self-sacrificing people, we're not here. Thank you very much.